Hello comic book fans out there! Midnighter and Apollo issue number 1 has just recently come out. This is the first of a 6-part miniseries being published by DC Comics that was written by Steve Orlando and illustrated by Fernando Blanco. This series follows a few months after the end of Midnighter's solo series that just recently ended. In Midnighter's solo series, he was working on his own trying to discover who had broken into the God Guard. He was also tracking down Henry Bendix. This is the guy that experimented on Midnighter and gave Midnighter his abilities. In this first issue, you can see that Apollo and Midnighter are together, but they're not 100% unified. At the very beginning, they're taking on subway pirates. It's very satisfying seeing both of these characters kick the asses to these guys who are kidnapping children, but you can see the discontent in Apollo's eyes, that Midnighter isn't holding back even in front of the children, which is something they converse about later after they've had some friends over for dinner. They also have sex afterwards, which for DC standards, they show a pretty good amount of this. So kudos for that. Many other mainstream comics are afraid to show this much. This book had a lot in it that I wasn't expecting, including a lot of references to some obscure characters that really haven't made their presence known in DC for some time. Besides the Subway Pirates, which is from the Seven Soldiers Manhattan Guardian, we also had the Ace of Winchesters, which is from Hitman. Steve Orlando also dug up some other characters too, like Extraño from the New Guardians. I haven't seen his character in years. He had a huge overall makeup in this too. There's several other obscure characters being brought in here, but I'm loving the idea that Steve Orlando is going more for the supernatural obscure characters that haven't really been shown too much in the new DC universe. It has a lot of jam-packed action being put in here with a lot of story element being added too. Major spoiler, Midnighter does track down Bendix. However, Bendix gives him an ultimatum. He can either take him down or he can go help his partner Apollo, who's taken on a character by the name of Mazir. And that's another Hitman reference. He's supposedly from Hell or a Hell dimension. But regardless though, he has enough abilities to injure Apollo to the point where at the very end, Apollo is waking up in Hell, or again, a Hell dimension, being stood over by a shadowy figure, which this character could be either the Devil or maybe even Neuron, who hasn't made his presence known in the new DC Rebirth. So great story and a good start for this miniseries. I really love Steve Orlando's writing. I mean, he really pulled everything out for this. I really think that Orlando and Blanco make a great team working on this series. Most of the story elements of this issue are pretty darn badass. I'm really happy that Apollo and Midnighter are together again, but they're not perfectly synced together, which they shouldn't be. Most people in relationships do have their ups and downs. There's lots of action in this, they're not shying away from their sexuality in any way, and there's a lot of different characters that are being brought out of the woodworks that we haven't seen in a long time. Great issue, I highly recommend it. It is a DC comic book and it's available at just about any comic book store anywhere, or you can go to dccomics.com and you can download a digital copy from them. I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you guys for watching me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site when you get a chance. Check out my social media sites. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll join you guys for another video very soon. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. It's been made clear in February of 2017 that DC is going to launch Wildstorm as a separate universe alongside the DC universe. I'm curious how this is going to play out, being that Apollo and Midnighter have already made their presence known in the main DC universe. They could probably cross over, but still I would rather them stay in the DC universe, but that's just my own personal opinion.